our big focus in part 3 was that we're going to start trying to out-aggress our opponent here, Gopher-esque, who we've got right now on 3 tables. I think I add a 4th at some point during the course of this video. He requests a 4th table. So what we had said was that he was showing he had a lot of very polarized ranges. He was playing a lot of pot control when he had like medium strength hands, and so generally he would either have a very strong hand. And he did a decent job of lowering his standards a little bit for what was a very strong hand. So I'm not talking about him checking down top pair with a weak kicker or something, but he would check his kind of medium strength hands. He would bet the stuff when he was pretty sure he was best, and he would bet a lot as bluffs. And he did a good job of recognizing common bluff spots and rebluff spots. So he could do stuff like check raise bluff a continuation bet. He could bluff raise if we let into him on the flop, that kind of thing. But he wasn't firing a lot of multiple barrels, and he also wasn't doing a lot of kind of thinner value plays. And what I decided I was going to do was I was going to try to out-aggress him, meaning that I was going to start playing back at him a whole lot in those sort of pissing contest spots where it's like, I know you don't have anything, but you know that you don't have anything, and I felt like I was kind of getting the better of those spots, that he was not balancing his ranges very well in those particular places, and so I started pouring some aggression on him. One thing I kind of noticed, I just watched the footage that I'm going to use for this particular video, and one thing that I noticed about my own play, and I guess I'll point it out, I'll say this is a general comment now, and we'll look at some specific examples of it over the course of the video. I did not do as good a job as I probably should have readapting to him. In other words, in the immediately preceding 20 minutes of this session, which were featured in part 3 of this series, I started taking this out-aggress him strategy. And looking back over this next 20 minutes that appears in this portion of the video, I can see that he actually he starts adapting to that reasonably well. He starts checking back a lot more flops when he doesn't have anything and making like delayed continuation bets. That's probably the most obvious change that he makes. And I didn't. He does start 4-betting pre-flop also. I don't feel like I made the best adjustments I could have against that. In particular, I don't think I was raising him enough on the turn. Given that I'd been raising him, I was doing, I think, a good job of raising him on the flop, and then he made a pretty clever adaptation to that, which is that he started checking a whole lot more flops. And so he wasn't bluffing nearly as often on the flop. And if I checked him again on the turn, he would bluff then. And I think what I should have done is take that same flop strategy that was working for me, and since he had shifted his aggression onto the turn, I should have shifted my aggression there as well.